The most significant mistakes so many leaders have made in the last 20 years, and it's very upsetting to me, is that they've put their self-interest ahead of the best interest of the institutions or the organizations they run. And that, to me, is the greatest failing of a leader. If you're looking out for your own money, fame, power, or glory, that's wrong.
Uncertain. Things are constantly changing. Things are unpredictable. When we confuse the stability of our mindsets with the stability of the underlying phenomenon, we act as if we know. When you think you know, you don't pay any attention any longer. Why bother since you know? Again, since things are always changing, uncertainty should be the rule, and what you want is a leader to learn how to exploit the power in uncertainty.
Gosh, I think probably to not to live up to their values. Leaders who espouse values but don't deliver them are very rapidly found out and very rapidly turned over. So I think that's probably the biggest crime a leader can commit. And I think, of course, this is one aspect of the reason why I think there's so much leader churn.
From my experience, I would say arrogance, personal arrogance and hubris, and confusing the size of the enterprise or the success of the enterprise with the individual's persona. I think that creates greater social distance and power distance, and can also, which is demotivating for most organizations and people. And secondly, it, I think, increases the chances of making big mistakes.
I think the biggest mistake a leader can make is potentially acting too fast and executing before actually thinking through the issue. In corporate America and even in government, often you find that you're drinking from a fire hose of issues that are coming at you, and there's very little time to actually step back, evaluate, and think about what you're doing, and then enter the stage with a new clear vision of where you're going. Most of the time, it's very much a harness the flow of issues and address those. So realistically, my opinion is the best thing a leader can do is take a step back from the situation with their management team, seek advice, think through it, even if it is a 5-minute process, and then move back to execution. This stepping back is both good in the short term in solving issues, but also in long-term management and thinking through strategy for a firm.
I think the biggest mistake a leader can make, or maybe the worst trait a leader can have, is to not be self-reflective. So the admired leaders that I've worked with and the people just in my own day-to-day that I've apprenticed myself to and really wanted to follow have been people who are constantly reviewing their own behavior, who are thinking about how they can develop themselves and thinking about how their behavior impacts other people. So I think unless somebody is willing to hold up a mirror to themselves and have an honest-to-God conversation about how they're doing, what effect their leadership is having, and what effect they have on other people, I don't think they'll be effective as leaders. And I think conversely, the people who are the worst leaders are people who just bulldoze forward and plow forward through life, making mistakes, not really looking back on the past, not learning as they go, and not necessarily being self-aware about how they're affecting the people around them.